Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Today in 1 Chronicles chapter 19, we have David wanting to show kindness to the son of Nahash. Because of the relationship that he had with Nahash, he wanted to send some messengers to console Hanan, who was Nahash's son, the one who would reign in his place. Well, as they go there, the princes of the sons of Ammon say, hey, these guys aren't coming to console you. They're coming to spy out the land. And they end up humiliating these messengers, shaving off their beards and cutting off their garments at the hips and sending them away. And of course, this infuriates David, and a big battle takes place, and some 47,000 Arameans are killed because of these these princes of the sons of Ammon and their cynicism. And so this brings us to the topic of cynicism. And it's something that perhaps we don't talk about a whole lot, that preachers or Bible teachers don't talk about a whole lot. But it's definitely something that we should guard against as Christians. And being a cynic basically just means that you always are suspicious of others. You always expect the worst out of other people. You always think that people have ulterior motives, that type of thing. And that's something, again, that we should guard against as Christians. I'm afraid that with social media and everything that's gone on in the past few years in our nation, that a lot of Christians are starting to turn towards becoming cynics. We become overly skeptical of everyone and begin to try to interpret everyone's intentions, and it ends up causing us to do some unloving things and say unloving things to other people. And when we do this, we have to understand that kind of what we're doing is falling in line with the example of Satan. Even at the beginning in Genesis chapter 3, he was cynical. He says, has the Lord told you that you should not eat of any of the trees of the garden? And Eve said, of all the trees of the garden we may freely eat, but of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, God said we shall not eat or touch it, or we shall surely die. And Satan says, you shall not surely die, for God knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you'll be like him, knowing good and evil. And so it seems as though the way Satan says these words, that he is kind of questioning God's motives, saying God's keeping you away from this tree because he doesn't want you to become like him. And he's keeping you from your full potential. And so kind of a bit of cynicism there on the part of Satan by, again, questioning the motives of God. Also with Job, if you remember the story of Job, God presented Job to Satan, or mentioned Job to Satan. He says, have you seen my servant Job? He's righteous. He's a good man. And Satan says, well, does he serve you for nothing? He says, sure, you put a hedge around him. You blessed him so much. Of course he's going to serve you. But, if you afflict him, he'll curse you to your face. And so there he's being cynical in questioning Job's motivations to obedience to God, saying that he's only serving him because of what God was giving him. And so we want to really steer clear of this idea of cynicism, especially when it's not grounded. Now, let's face it, some people, they kind of earn, they kind of live the type of life that maybe causes people to be more cynical of them, because maybe they're shady, maybe they're not honest, maybe they're always involved in trickery and that thing. Yeah, we should probably be real careful around people like that. But on a general rule, we shouldn't just be cynical just for the sake of being cynical. It's better to maybe sometimes have the wool pulled over our eyes if it spares us from being cynical and questioning everybody and being suspicious of everything that comes into our lives. We want to be people who are open, who are loving, who are caring, and just show love to everyone, and not be so cynical. When we come across as cynical to other people, when we're suspicious of other people, what do they think? Oftentimes they think, well, that person must be shady. That person must be a liar or full of trickery because he thinks everybody else is. And so we definitely don't want to leave that impression. We want to be great examples to the world. We want to let our light shine before the world. We want to be salt to the earth and to the world. We want everyone to see the goodness of God in the way that we live. And that's going to be hindered if we are involved in cynicism. So let's let our reading today encourage us to not be quite so cynical and to believe the best in people when it's appropriate, and to, just have open hearts and open arms towards people. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.